Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jay Stone Show at rockmetaltalk.com. You know, normally I would play a song first, but with the guest we have tonight, I only have a short amount of time because he's out on a cruise ship working the Rock of Ages show. So I'd like to welcome Virus to the show. How are you doing, Virus?
Greetings from Bermuda. I'm doing good, man.
Cool. So I guess we're just going to go right into it. Basically, you're on a cruise ship. You got like the 6-month contract thing. That's coming to an end. I guess you're going to be, getting off the ship soon and coming home. So what's going on with Dope and stuff like that?
Well, I'm getting home September. I know that Dope is going to do something. I just don't have any details to give away because obviously if it's not confirmed, I can't say. But Dope is going to do something here very shortly, and we're looking forward to doing that. But when I immediately get off, I only got a couple things brewing, like some studio work. So I'm kind of seeing what's out there. If anybody needs me, give me a holler. If there's a job out there, I'll be happy to go on tour with your band or produce your record or whatever, because I have some time in between my things. So I'm always putting that out there as well.
So that once you get back, was this just a trial thing with the cruise ship doing the Rock of Ages, or is it something you'll consider doing again down the road if things, get slow or touring gets slow?
Well, that's kind of why I'm here. Is Device, kind of ended there because David is going back to Disturb and all that. Like Disturb's starting the big thing, the machine up again. So when that happened, I was like, well, I know I can do this. So I came out here to do the Rock of Ages thing. And Rock of Ages is something that I've been doing for, it's been almost 6 years now.
Wow.
I started on the Broadway one. I was subbing over there for my buddy Tommy Kessler, who plays in Blondie. So, this is just a continuation of that. And in fact, the Broadway Rock of Ages is closed, and all of them are closed except for the Vegas one and the one that I do here on the ship. So, there's still some work to be done. I probably will come back again, like you're saying. If I don't have anything going on, I'll come back out again like a year from now. But as of right now, I'm ready to come back. It's 6 months on a ship is no joke, man. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, being away from home and your family, that's a tough thing for 6 months at a time, and
Right, that's the thing. Like any other, when I'm on a tour bus, you can fly the wifey out, and then she can stay on the butt. But you can't do that on a ship. You can't just have people come on, and you can't do it like a cruise ship is run like the Navy, and it's run like a separate country. Like it's all about immigration and passports, and it's very, very strict. So like the touring on here is so much different. I don't mind touring for 6 months. It's just on a ship it's so isolating that it kind of starts messing with your head.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
Do people recognize you from being in Dope and Device on the cruise ship, or is that something that just is easy to walk about the ship and do what you got to do?
Well, the funny thing is that I do get recognized on this ship, and it's funny because a lot of everybody else in the show, they put on their outfit and the wig, and they put on their makeup and stuff, and everybody that knows me knows that I look like this 24/7.
Right.
So I'm walking around the ship, and so I'm taking photos and signing stuff, and I get some Dope, Device, Lords of Acid fans on the ship, and so it's pretty funny. I feel like I'm on vacation, but then I get recognized. It's a very bizarre existence out here.
Does anybody specifically take the cruise to try to run into you? Because I could imagine that being the case, like being in Device and Dope, you've been in BIGNRICH, you've toured with so many different people, so there's got to be a variety of people out there, someone that would just take the cruise just to run into you.
Well, I'd like to think that, but I tend to think not. I mean, maybe if I was like Slash or like Zach Wilde, that would probably happen. But I know people come on to see Rock of Ages specifically, because we are a New York-based ship, and since the closing of the Broadway show, people go on vacation, and a lot of them are New Yorkers, New Jersey, Long Island. So I know I get a lot of Rock of Ages people that just come to see the show.
Right.
And they're a lot of fun people.
Is it the same company that runs the Vegas one? I had Andy Gerald on, and he's actually the guitar player in the Vegas one. He was in Marilyn Manson, Ashes Divide.
Yeah, he's the Guitar 2 guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that I'm hoping breaks his arm so I can move to Vegas.
That's funny.
Yeah, you can tell him I said that with a smile if you talk to him. But,
that's funny. Yeah, I'll send them a message or something. I talk to him every now and then. So
yeah. Just say, hey, dude, if you ever need a sub, or if you break your arm, I'm a phone call away. Because I know Chris, the guitar one. Me and him have done the Rock of Ages Broadway one together, and I know waitress number 1, Holly. She did the ship with me last year. On this ship, she was here, and she also did the tour. So everybody everybody rotates and stuff depending on what they go on. But I'd love to do the Vegas one. That'd be great.
Do you do a show on the ship every? I don't mean to keep talking about the cruise ship, but do you do a show on the ship every night?
No, we play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do 4 shows. So that's 2 shows on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the other show that I'm in is called Burn the Floor, and that's like a Latin jazz ballroom dancing type of thing, but like modernized. It's amazing, like world class metal award winning dancers. And I'm playing bass in the show, and it's badass. It's all like killer jazz and some Latin stuff, and it's amazing. It's not like what you think. Like you think ballroom dancing, oh God, I don't want to see it. It's not like that at all. Right. It's modernized, freaking amazing shit going on. So I do that for the other night. So I play just about every day out here. It's pretty fun. So
yeah, I seen your post about that. I was actually wondering about that. I figured you were just doing multiple shows on the ship. We talked about the Vice a little bit. One of your big fans asked me to ask you a question. So
okay.
He wants to know, basically, is the Vice gonna make another album, and will you be part of it, or was it something David Draymond just did because he got tired of Disturbed after a while?
Yeah, the Vice wasn't really a goal for David. He wasn't like, oh, I'm going to start a band, and what didn't happen like that. It was him and Gino Leonardo. Like they wrote a song together for a movie, and then it was like they loved the song so much they just kept on writing, and then they got a record deal and put a record out. So that's kind of how that started. I don't know what David's going to do. I frankly don't know what he's going to do. So I just know that the machine of Disturbed is back together and they're starting up. And I think that those guys felt the need to get back together and settle their differences.
Right.
Amongst their human issues that they have with each other. Just because I felt like they feel like the window's closing. The business is really tough, and it's hard for us to make money out here. Someone like David, who's in a really big band, he's made a lot of money. So that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about
right.
for the the rest of us, that are out here, making a living. But it gets tougher and tougher. So those guys know how tough it is as well. So they're like, well, before the window closes, before people forget who Disturbed is, let's go out there, do another record, and capitalize on the fans they have. So that's kind of, that's their business, and more power to them. They're all buddies of mine, and David's cool to me, and we had a great time in Device. I wish Device would do another record because I know it would be awesome.
Right.
Like that band was fucking awesome. I loved playing in that band. Me and David and Will, like that was a trio powerhouse that was fucking killing it, you know, like that was great, you know.
Yeah, I guess Disturbed, they just announced the start of their touring cycle and stuff too, so I'm sure he's going to be busy for the next couple of years.
Yeah, I just saw they released the tour dates today, right?
Yeah. I just looked at them probably a half hour before the show. So, I mean, that's a cool thing. I mean, I remember seeing them play with Dope at the Bowery Ballroom in New York City or something.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Just when they were coming up. So, is that how you connected with them? Was through Dope, or
no? That was actually before I was in Dope. Like I was there. Right. I was there watching. Actually, I was watching the show, but I met David. When I first joined Dope. How did it work? Oh, I don't know what happened. And then like maybe 4 or 5 months later, I joined Dope after that, and then me and AC were in the city in the East Village, kind of just hanging around, and then we saw David. Because Disturbed had a show when they came back around on that same touring cycle, and we saw him at a bar. So I met him there, and that was the year 2000, maybe 2001.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's probably 2000, probably.
Around there, I would think, because that Bowery Ball was right before I moved to Florida, so it had to be right around that time because you joined a few months after that. So I would say that's pretty accurate.
Right, and then I saw David. Where did I see him? I saw him in Chicago. Dope was there playing. I had my family down at the Navy Pier, and he was with his now wife Lena on a date. That's how long ago it was, and that was like maybe a year before Device. So that was it was that when I saw him, I was like, oh hey, how you doing? Blah 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 blah. You know, he met the kids and all that kind of stuff, and then when Device was being put together, the touring lineup, Will was already in the band, and Will's like a really good friend of mine, Will Hunt. And so Will was like, dude, we got to get Virus. He's perfect for this. And then David was like, oh, yeah, I just saw him, like out of the blue, like about a year ago. So then that's kind of how Device got together right there.
That's cool. So I know we only got a few minutes left because you got to do the show in a little while.
Right.
I tell people, I talk about Dope, I talk about you, because this has been a long time coming, getting you on the show, and the first time, actually, I got a virus on my computer, which is pretty ironic. But we got to have you on again when we can sit down for a little longer and get more in.
Dude, I can do these all day long, dude. So I mean, if just let me know if you want to get together.
Cool.
I'll do it. Whatever
Sweet.
You want, man.
A lot when I talk about your resume, if that's how I can explain it the best, and then I say, oh, he was also touring with Big and Rich, people are like a little dumbfounded. How did that come about?
It's kind of funny. So my manager, Charlie Panaccio, is John Rich of Big and Rich. He's John Rich's partner in running John Rich's company, which is called the Music Mafia in Nashville, and they have a whole bunch of artists and they manage a bunch of people, blah 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 blah. So Charlie, my manager, got me to play on this guy named Bradley Gaskin's record, country guy. So I played a bunch of stuff on a couple songs, and so John's in the studio with Charlie, and they're listening to Bradley's record, and John's like, "Who's that playing guitar on there? It's really good." And Charlie's like, "Dude, it's Virus." And I've known John for a couple of years at that point. And John's like, "What? He can play that kind of stuff?" And Charlie's like, "Yeah, he can kind of play a lot of different things, So John calls me up. He's like, "Hey, Virus, it's John Rich." He's like, "Why don't you learn a couple tunes, and then, we'll see where it goes." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I hung up the phone with him. Like a day later, I set up a video camera. I learned a bunch of their tunes. And I did a video of me playing like 3 or 4 of their tunes, and I sent him it as an audition video, and they loved it, and they flew me out like 2 days later, and I met with the band, I met with Big Kenny, and